First, we make a new file. Click here, and whatever your new file window looks like, you can choose Film and Video and HD TV. Give it a name and press OK. To view the timeline, go to the top of the screen, press Window and choose Timeline. Here, click Create Video Timeline. This layer is not a video layer, but it is good for the background. And you can stretch it to the required length of your animation. Before we start, we're going to set the frame rate of this animation to something quite low, so we don't have to draw many pictures to get a result. Here, I'll choose Set Timeline Frame Rate. I'm going to set it to 6 frames per second. Using this slider, I'm going to zoom in. And here I can see my individual frames. This is the first frame, this area here. When we move it, it will jump to the second frame. You can see a small grey line indicating the space that that frame takes up. I'll leave my playhead at the start of the sequence. To add a video layer, we go to the top of the screen and choose Layer, Video Layers, New Blank Video Layer. Choosing the brush tool and an appropriate brush style and size, as well as black or whichever colour you prefer from the colour picker. I'm going to draw something very simple and easy to animate. That's my first frame. So that I can see this when I move to the second frame, I come over to the menu on the right and choose Enable Onion Skins. This shows me a semi-transparent version of the previous layer for reference. I can now draw my second frame. And my third. I'll do another one of those because I want it to last a little bit longer. And then I'll open up the eye again. If I want to see further back for reference, I can go to this menu and choose Onion Skin Settings. Here, if I choose 3 frames before, you can see that I can use my eyeball as reference there. I'll change that back because I don't need to see so many frames all the time. And draw what's going to be my last frame. Like that. Not the neatest or the prettiest or the most interesting, but it serves the purpose for this tutorial. If I run through, you can get an idea of what it might look like. And if I turn off the onion skins, go into this menu here and just unchecking that, by doing it at a low frame rate, we're not getting much detail in the movement, and you might want to do more pictures if you want smoother motion. To trim our animation, we can take our playhead to the final frame, the first one where it shows up as nothing. With our layer selected, choose the scissors, choose the additional bit here and press delete. Alternatively, we could zoom right out, grab the end of our layer and drag it back to where we'd like it to end, making sure we get it in the right place. By clicking on this cog and making sure that loop playback is showing as checked, we can press play and watch our animation. To export this as a movie, we choose File, Export, Render Video. It's got the name of our Photoshop file, and you can choose where you're going to save it. I'm saving mine to the desktop. These default settings are fine, but if yours says something different, you can change it to match this. Make sure the frame rate's at 24, suitable for animation, and choose Render. After a moment, we can open our video file. I've opened the file, and now I can view it as I would with any other video. If you're looking at it in QuickTime, I can choose View and Loop so that it repeats over and over again. Of course, instead of just drawing simple outlines like I've done, you can create full color images and use all the filters and different settings that Photoshop has to offer. So you don't need to just be limited to a very simple animation like this. With a bit of thought and time, you can create something quite amazing.